Welcome back to the channel Spain Unlocked. My name is Anna and today we are in the gorgeous city of Elche. Let's discover its city center. Welcome to the heart of this beautiful city. We are located around 15 to 20 kilometers from the city of Alicante, the capital of the province of Alicante in the Valencian community. And today we will show you this jewel. Elche is the second biggest city situated in the Alicante province, just in case you did not know where we actually are at today. So it's the second largest town after Alicante, and it is an incredible place that so many people consider to relocate. This is the map, by the way, so that you would see where it is actually located and you can situate yourself slightly better. And this is a place that many families and couples choose for their relocation and moving plans to Spain. This is quite a big city as per Spanish sizes, let's say it like this. And there are at least 7-8 different neighborhoods. It is a constantly growing town that has everything that you need to be able to live here comfortably and happily. There are different areas. Some of them are more residential, others are more for services or leisure activities. Some of them are more for sports, and others just combine all of it. And honestly, there's even a great public transport, not only inside of the city, which is where you can get a bus, but also connection with Alicante directly. From Elche, you could get a train, which is called Tren de Cercanías, which is like a clothesline train, which goes back and forth non-stop during the whole day long. And many people use this type of train to actually work in Alicante and live in Elche, or study and go back and forth like this early in the morning and late in the evening. So this is actually something really widely used. Thus, living in Elche gives you an opportunity to be in a slightly quieter environment, and at the same time you have Alicante right nearby, and in half an hour, even less, you are actually there, which is why people love it, since Elche is also slightly a cheaper place to live. This town has plenty of services, and a lot of them are located right here in the heart of the city. There's this central market, which obviously does retail and sell different types of groceries like fresh fruit, vegetables, seasonal ones from the local markets and farmers. There's also meat, fresh fish section, charcuterie, and different types of meats, like cooked meats like ham, etc. Cheese sections. There is bakeries and freshly baked bread and pastry places, nuts, walnuts of different kinds, dried out fruits, plants, flowers. All of this can be purchased usually on a central market. But apart from that, there's also local markets at least once a week, where you could get some more groceries if you need to, apart from obviously visiting the supermarkets that are situated here in the area. Typical supermarkets you will find here are, for example, Lidl, Aldi, Mercadona supermarket, which I know a lot of people either love or hate when they move here to Spain. Then there's also supermarkets such as Consum, Spar, Dia, Dualprix, Jumbo. There's plenty of supermarkets, but definitely you'll find places to shop. And obviously here in the city center, it is full of different types of shops. So technically you would not even need to go to a shopping mall, which also does exist, but in the other neighborhoods, slightly outside the central area. Even so, here in the city center, you have several squares with green trees, with some fountains, just a natural shade to sit down and enjoy. And this place is absolutely full and packed up with different types of services. There's dental clinics, as you could have seen. This is a shoe shop, and all of it is inside of the historical type of the buildings. Another dental clinic, the hearing device clinics too, optics, There is shoe shops, there is accessory shops made in Spain. There's international brands here too. There's a shop for curly hair styling. This is a bakery, believe it or not. This is a bakery, Levadura Madre, which sells actually quite pricey pastry and bread, but these are supposed to be with some of the best ingredients, like it was naturally always done. All different types of fashion shops for clothes, shoes, accessories, bags, swimwear, etc. Real estate companies, obviously, pharmacies as well. Right now, some of these places are closed, but that is not because it's not a work day, because it is. It's because it is midday. It is siesta time. And in Spain, not sure if you know, siesta time is sacred. It's something that is done always, with an exception of touristic cities. That's when the timetable is slightly different. But in Elche, many of the places, especially shops, they do close down for midday, around from 2 till 4 or 2 to 5. And then they open back in the evening, because on midday it is quite hot outside, especially in summer. And back in the days, there was no air conditioning. So sadly, no one ever went into these places. So they decided it just doesn't make any sense to stay open on midday. Plenty of people stay on these natural shade, loveliest gardens inside of the city. The places that are so cozy and quiet. Others go to parks, which are also here in Elche. There's a giant park called El Palmeral, which has at least 5-6 playgrounds for kids of different age. But others just prefer to stay here in the city center, in the natural shade of the trees. There's also plenty more of official services. The town hall is located here nearby. The health center is also here, not too far away. There's schools, which we will see shortly. There's schools for preschool, primary education, and secondary education. There's shops that fix up your mobile phones, and they do top-ups, and they help you to print paperwork or call somewhere to a different country. There's also typical shops. This one here is like a aesthetics place. There's also nail salons, hairdressers, plenty of places, lawyers out here on the right. Another dental clinic out there can be seen. Obviously, we have more places like this, like a cafeteria, but it is actually the bread place and pastry place. Mango, which is a clothing and accessories shop situated in this gorgeous old style building. Look at this. This is part of it, obviously, but it's still very beautiful. Plenty of these streets where the public transport passes. The public transport connects every single neighborhood, but the central one is the one that obviously receives the biggest amount of the connection between different lines. And from the city center, it is quite easy to get to different points of the town. You could get to the sports area in just a few minutes. You could get to the beach in about half an hour, probably 40 minutes. You would be on the beach. And even to all the schools and all the facilities, all the services, basic ones that you would need, you could go walking if you are in the city center, which means that you do not even need to have a vehicle to move around here, which is something a lot of people seek, especially coming from outside countries. For many people, it is very necessary to count with the actual possibility of moving around without the necessity of a vehicle, without getting to the need to examine themselves once again, or purchasing a vehicle because they've left there behind or sold back in their home country. So it is great to be able to move around. It's like in Alicante or any other city and town where you have good working public transport. You can move freely around here. And this is one of the best key points, honestly, of the city. All the services available, plus if you seek slightly more things like a nightlife, or you want to have this hustle and bustle of the bigger city, the capital of the province, then you could always go to Alicante and come back after a whole day there. Or maybe even spend a weekend in other city like Alicante. But here, Elche is quite busy too. It's not a quiet town. Obviously, during daytime, people are at work, children are at school, thus, streets will not be as crowded as they could be. Now it is midday, so many people are bringing their children from school, especially public schools that do work here up until 2 to 30 p.m., which is exactly when we're filming this video right now. In the evenings or early mornings, this place is way busier than it actually is now. And now, let's start with properties. Who and how many of you are wondering how much do properties here actually cost? Let's start from the sales first. If you're planning to purchase a property, the lowest it will cost you is around 85,000 euros. This is a 3-bedroom, 95 square meter property without elevator, 5th floor, and it needs some refurbishment. And 5th floor without elevator is something quite difficult, especially for couples of slightly older age or with mobility issues. That is not so easy. It's an exterior property, but obviously without all the natural light, it's difficult to say if it's actually as sunny as we think it might be, because it's on the 5th floor. So technically, if it's exterior, there should be quite a lot of sunshine. Other properties such as these ones would need a complete renovation on the inside, which is why they are quite cheap, honestly. This is the cheapest things you can get, but these need quite a bit of work if you decide to purchase these types of properties. The next available options already would be a different type of a property. This one here that doesn't need any kind of refurbishment, from 119,000 euros, 2 bedrooms, 85 square meters, 3rd floor without elevator, but it's a 3rd floor, it's not a 5th one. So obviously this one is fully refurbished. You do not need to touch anything if you don't want to. And it is quite sunny. So this is a great place, but it's already typical properties like these do cost more than 100,000 euros, that is for sure. 129,000 euros would cost you a 1-bedroom apartment, 48 square meters. This is a ground floor, and this before was an office. We know this place, and these were like commercial ground floor places that were rebuilt into a living home, into an apartment. So not too sure. Many people do invest like this and then rent them for long-term rentals, which is quite profitable, honestly, if you want to purchase something like this for an investment. 135,000 euros, 3 bedrooms, 100 square meters apartment, 1st floor without elevator. This is between the ground floor and the 1st floor, like the ones that you see like in between. This maybe, don't think it was an office. It's just a regular typical apartment that needs some refurbishment, but a slight one, not a really big one. Let's continue with some more properties. This one here already has been fully renovated. 170,000 euros, 3 bedrooms, 77 square meters. This is once again in between the ground and the 1st floor, which probably maybe was an office, maybe it wasn't, but this is not something typical, have a property like this. By the way, in front we already have some public schools, so as you can see, the city center has plenty of them. 178,000 euros, 2 bedrooms, 82 square meters. This is also a ground floor apartment without an elevator, and this is also one of these apartments that were fully renovated to actually resell it, gain some profit, and then if you want to purchase it as an investment, that is perfectly fine. 180,000 euros, 3 bedrooms, 76 square meters apartment. This is refurbished and in a very good condition, next to the schools and the university, and 1st floor with elevator. What else could you ask for? This is a great apartment for a family, situated not too far away from where we are actually right now. The other type of properties that we can see is, for example, this one. It is a duplex, which means it's a 2-floor apartment, 3 bedrooms, 89 square meters, and the price is almost 200,000 euros. Then we have another property, which is an attic. It's the last floor, 280,000 euros with garage included, which is a bargain. 2 bedrooms, 90 square meters, 5th floor with an elevator. And this is where it's located, right where we started today's video. Incredible location, right in the heart of Elche. Definitely an incredible property and quite difficult to find, honestly, in this area, and also a spectacular terrace from where you can enjoy all these views. Let's continue with more properties. This is a duplex, a very big one for a big family, 4 bedrooms, 210 square meters, 294,000 euros. An incredible duplex 2-floor apartment here in the heart of the city center. Let's go with rentals long term, shall we? Rentals long term do exist here, since this is a place where people tend to live a whole year. There's also some short-term rentals, not gonna lie, or like a seasonal ones from September to June or October to June. This is a whole year long, 600 euros a month, 1 bedroom, 60 square meters apartment. This is a ground floor apartment situated here in the heart of the city center. All the properties we show you on today are situated in the city center, which is a neighborhood we're checking on right now. There's also studios available here. By the way, this is the park of Palmeral. Studios, 600 euros a month, 35 square meters, 4th floor with elevator. Quite a fully refurbished studio, honestly ideal for a couple or just solo person. 625 euros a month, 2 bedrooms, 65 square meters, recently published apartment for a long-term rent. 700 euros a month, you could rent starting from this price a 3-bedroom apartment in different areas of Elche. 770 euros a month, you could rent already new modern style apartment of 2 bedrooms and 70 square meters. So the more refurbished it is, the more expensive it is, obviously. 850 euros a month, 3-bedroom apartment, 140 square meters, but it is a 4th floor without elevator, which means that if it would have an elevator, it would be like 100, 200 euros more expensive than it actually is. Due to that, 975 euros a month. As you can see, this one has an elevator. Very sunny, 4-bedroom, 113 square meters, but the price is higher because it also has the elevator. An attic, which is the last floor apartment, 1,350 euros a month, 3 bedrooms, 135 square meters. And it's one of the taller buildings here with elevator on the main avenue situated next to all the facilities. So obviously these are plenty of different options in the area. It is slightly difficult though if you're coming from the outside, so we recommend you to check our videos about how the long-term rent actually works here in Spain, especially if you do not have a job in Spain, if you're coming from abroad, how things are and how much would you need to pay for these types of long-term rentals. You can find these videos in the useful information playlist here on our channel. So overall, prices here are lower than in the Alicante city, for example. Overall, it is a slightly quieter town. Not too quiet though. Honestly, there's still plenty of things going on. It is really busy in the city center and outside in the peak hours, mornings, evenings, nighttime fiestas, celebrations. All of this is here, and Elche is pretty much alive, honestly. It's just on midday whenever a lot of places are closed. It's slightly more quiet and we can enjoy the gorgeous city of Elche and its traditional city center with plenty of lovely old buildings, architecture, cultural buildings, and plenty of things to explore even for us locals from the area. This is how the heart of Elche looks like. An incredible place where more and more people each time decide to relocate in Spain, right next to Alicante. Thank you for accompanying us in today's video. Wish you a lovely day, and we'll see you in a new video here on the channel very soon. Goodbye.